Hello, this is Dr. Charmaine Gregory, and I wanted to talk with you today about some of the best financial and kind of life advice that I received when I was a resident and when I started as a new attending. So, really simple stuff. So, during residency, the best advice that I got was to open a Roth IRA and try my very best to max that out. Now, I did not max it out, but I did open one up, and I did put money in there. And now we're talking 15 years later almost, and that money that I put in then is basically growing, and because I haven't touched it. And then the other thing, so that was the one item through in advice during residency that was very helpful. The second thing was to get supplemental disability insurance that was own occupation. So making sure that if something happens in my, and I get injured, that I can still practice in emergency medicine, and I would be allowed to do that. And so I did that, and I also got one that allowed for increased benefits as I made more money. So as time went by, I was allowed to go up to the maximum benefit. So those two items I think were gold, because did that, and I really have been very happy with having done so. So now let's fast forward beyond residency to starting as an attending. So one of the things is, and we hear this a lot now lately, people have been talking more about it, but this was something that it actually happened automatically for me, and I didn't really think too much of it. But really learning or choosing to live the resident lifestyle for as long as possible in order to pay down debt and really set yourself up to be in a winning position for financial health. And so, not going out and splurging on the big car or the expensive home, but really focusing on getting rid of, for me, it was getting rid of the credit card debt, because I had a bunch, and then my spouse ended up having some as well. So we basically worked really, really hard and just eliminated our credit card debt. So, and then we have lived at the same level for a number of years, and that has allowed us to not have to feel as though we're choking or as though we are struggling. So that was one thing. So living at the level of a resident, as far as your spending habits, etc., and not going crazy because now you're getting a paycheck that is much better than what you get during residency. And then the second thing was, so the first thing was living below your means as best you can, and then paying down debt as best you can. Keeping in mind that your student loans, you can definitely attack those aggressively. Some people I know have literally attacked them so aggressively that they basically paid them off within 5 years of graduating residency. So in order for you to do that, though, you're probably going to have to be extremely lean in your lifestyle in order to do that, and literally put like half your salary towards paying off your student loans. Again, depending on how many student loans you have. The second thing is getting a life insurance and policy. And I know that sounds weird, but definitely getting life insurance for yourself, getting life insurance for your spouse, and making sure that it is a good amount of life insurance. Now, I'm not saying you should go take out a $10 million policy, because number one, they won't let you. But depending on what your spouse does, and obviously it should at least be $1 million. So getting a good life insurance policy with a trusted company is definitely important to do. The next thing is making a will. And nobody's thinking that we're going to die, because we're, basically, maybe healthy, maybe young. But it is definitely something to consider, because what doing that does is it allows for there to be no discrepancies, no No issues with arbitration, anything like that, when, if and when you were to have a untimely death. And it saves a lot of heartache and a lot of stress to those that love you that are left behind. So making a will. And within the will, if you have children or you are planning on having children, to designate someone or some people that will take over the care of your children is quite important as well. So live as a resident as long as you can, pay down your debt, and then make sure that you have adequate life insurance, making sure that you make a will, and then the next thing is to max out your retirement savings as much as you can. So if you have ability to put in, 20% of your salary, if you can, if you have ability to do that, then I would definitely do that in the various forms of which you are allowed. Because you do this at the beginning, you will learn to live without that additional money, and over time, as you know, money basically accrues over time. So definitely these are items that I felt like were really great advice that I was given in residency and when I first got done, and it has served us well over the years. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, or is I should say, please feel free to leave a comment below and let me know. If you can think of other things, that would be great. And I hope that you will be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness. Have a great one.